Buckle up, folks, because in this episode, love, doubt, and DNA are on the menu. It's a real-life soap opera, and we're just getting started. Case 1. On number 1, grab your popcorn because we've got a real blockbuster of a case. Mr. Haggerty is in the hot seat, trying to prove that Miss Davis's daughter, Miss Wandick, is his long-lost biological offspring. But hold on to your hats, because this story has more twists and turns than a roller coaster at a theme park.
And prove that he is not her father.
Yes, ma'am.
After a whopping 19 years, Miss Davis drops a bombshell and confesses that she's been fibbing all along. Can you imagine the audacity? Miss Wandick is left in the dark, unraveling the mystery of her identity as if she's the leading character in a suspenseful novel.
He was my father the whole 29 years of my life.
Now, here's where it gets spicy. Miss Wandick decides to cozy up to the man who claims to be her real dad. 9 years of daddy-daughter time down the drain, and Mr. Haggerty's heart is shattered into 1,000 pieces. Can we get this guy a tissue?
Be so upset and feel alone. I see tears in your eyes.
But wait, there's more. Miss Wandick spills the tea, admitting that Mr. Haggerty has been an awesome father, and this bombshell confession wasn't part of the plan. Her mum's motives? Money, honey. She's been whining and dining with another potential sugar daddy. Cha-ching.
Calls and check on us and stuff. And he claims to be my dad.
Miss Davis's sister, Miss Doro, jumps into the fray, trying to rewrite history. She claims that Miss Davis originally said Mr. Haggerty was the dad, back when Miss Wandick was a bun in the oven. Now Miss Davis is doing a 180 and claiming she lied because she wanted a baby with Mr. Haggerty. But that's not all, folks. Miss Haggerty's other daughter thinks they're biological sisters because they've got that sibling resemblance going on. It's like a genetic episode of Who's Who.
Because your relationship was special and important for you.
Yes.
Drum roll, please. The DNA results drop like a bombshell, revealing that Miss Wandick is not Mr. Haggerty's biological daughter. Shock and awe. But hey, Mr. Haggerty's family still wants to be part of her life because they've shared some quality bonding time. The judge lays down the wisdom, reminding Miss Wandick that despite her mum's truth-bending antics, she's part of a loving Haggerty family.
You are not the father.
And there you have it, folks. Another day in the wild world of paternity court, where the drama never ends and the DNA results keep us on our toes. Case 2. And now, last but not least, it's a classic case of Is It Mine or Not, featuring the ever-optimistic Mr. Kiesel and his doubting pregnant wife. Mr. Kiesel is absolutely convinced that he's the real daddy of his wife's bun in the oven. I mean, he's got that unwavering confidence, like a superhero in a B-list movie.
A month into our marriage, she had cheated on me.
But oh boy, does she have some doubts. You see, these two lovebirds started their journey with a whirlwind romance, got married, and then doubt crept in like a bad plot twist. It's like their relationship had more ups and downs than a roller coaster at an amusement park.
Everybody together, having a good time for like a baby shower.
Mrs. Kiesel, on the other hand, spills the tea. They tied the knot when they were barely old enough to order a proper drink. Yes, you heard that right. And before that, they were in an on and off relationship that was shakier than a wobbly table at a fast food joint. But it gets juicier. She couldn't quite shake off her ex-boyfriend, even after saying, "I do." Color us surprised. I mean, who needs a romantic comedy when you've got a real-life drama like this?
Your ex could be the child's biological father.
Now, here's where it gets confusing. They're wrangling over dates like it's a bad rom-com script. Mrs. Kiesel claims she conceived the child on March 8th, but Mr. Kiesel is adamant that this was the day they got cozy. Mrs. Kiesel admits to a rendezvous with her ex on the 7th and 9th of March. This baby's got more potential dads than a deck of shuffled cards at a magician's convention. It's like a thrilling mystery where everyone's a suspect.
Ms. Key, so when were you intimate with your ex?
The 7th and the 9th.
But wait, Mr. Kiesel is not one to give up easily. He's convinced that he's the dad because he spotted some eerily similar features during an ultrasound. According to him, the kid's got the same nose and probably even shares his family's penchant for a club foot. Talk about a genetic mystery. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces.
It's a very dominant trait, and I was born with bilateral clubfoot.
And folks, if you're as hooked on this DNA drama as we are, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the next jaw-dropping episode of Paternity Court, where secrets are unraveled, emotions run high, and the truth is always more shocking than fiction. Now enter Dr. Samantha, our guiding light in this labyrinth of confusion. She's here to lay it down for the couple. Apparently, spotting a club foot while the baby's still cooking in the oven is as tricky as finding a needle in a haystack. But, and here's the kicker, club foot can run in the family's genes. So Mr. Kiesel might be onto something there. It's like connecting the dots in a particularly intricate painting.
You can inherit those genes from one or both parents.
And now, drum roll please, the moment we've all been waiting for, the DNA test results. Surprise, surprise, Mr. Kiesel, you are indeed the biological father of the baby. The couple celebrates with a warm hug, the judge gets all warm and fuzzy, and we're left wondering, will the next episode be equally bonkers? Who knows what wild twists and turns lie ahead in the world of Paternity Court?
You are the father.
Case 3. Now folks, in the second episode, we've got a real head-scratcher on our hands. Miss Jackson is out to prove that her ex-beau, Mr. Brown, is the long-lost father of her 26-year-old daughter, Tanika. Oh boy, 26 years in the making, this one's gonna be good.
We danced, we partied, and then we went to the apartment.
Now, Miss Jackson claims that the only reason Mr. Brown is in denial mode is because of his wife, who's convinced Miss Jackson is the master of lies.
I told him that I had a miscarriage.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because this story's got more twists and turns than a roller coaster on a bumpy track. Miss Jackson spills the tea, saying she met Mr. Brown at a club and things escalated quickly to his apartment. Steamy, right? But here comes Mrs. Brown with her own version of events. She caught them red-handed at the apartment, and if that weren't scandalous enough, she found Miss Jackson hiding butt naked in her closet. Cue the dramatic music.
I said, open this door. He cracked it a little bit. But I told her, I said, you can go.
Now, Mrs. Brown's got her own tale to tell. She swears that when Tanika was conceived, her dear husband wasn't canoodling with Miss Jackson, but with her, of course. Mr. Brown chimes in, claiming he moved on from Miss Jackson when he discovered she had another man in her life.
He told me he hadn't been home in 2 months, Your Honor.
But wait, Miss Jackson isn't going down without a fight. She insists Mr. Brown kept playing the on and off game, showing up like a bad penny. When Tanika was born, he even made a hospital visit and snatched his child. Talk about being snatched from the jaws of destiny. Now, let's talk about money, honey. Mr. and Mrs. Brown claim they've been paying child support, but Miss Jackson keeps dodging the DNA test like it's a plague. She's got her eyes on the prize, and that prize has dollar signs all over it.
She said, let me keep calling me, that's an insult about DNA testing.
But folks, the plot thickens. Miss Jackson's got an ace up her sleeve. She says Mr. Brown signed a paternity certificate, confessing that Tanika is his flesh and blood. The judge pulls out the big guns, comparing signatures like a forensic expert. Mr. Brown, probably sweating bullets, finally signs and matches the signature. And the verdict is in. Tanika is indeed Mr. Brown's offspring. Drama, anyone?
Right up there where the L and the E is.
Tanika, the star of this show, is tired of this messy merry-go-round. She's here for one thing and one thing only, the DNA test results. 26 years of confusion, child support, and shenanigans. It's about time.
Of going through this for 26
And
years.
her mama-
I can imagine, hon.
The judge steps in, ready to drop the bombshell. Drum roll, please. Surprise, surprise. Mr. Brown, you are the father. At first, he's hesitant to embrace his daughter because of the missus, but the judge sets him straight. You don't need anyone's permission to love your own child. What a heartwarming end to this wild paternity court saga.
You are her father.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Paternity Court. We hope you enjoyed this roller coaster of emotions and revelations. Remember to subscribe so you never miss out on the juiciest paternity mysteries and heartwarming reunions. Until next time, stay curious and keep believing in the power of truth.